What's going on? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. One time for the one time we grinding. Shout out to the whole LDBC. And Gennady Golovkin says that he likes boxing but doesn't love it, you know. And it was kind of hard to make out the end of what he kind of was saying, but because of the English barrier. But he did a good job talking in the beginning of this interview, which I'll link into the description, all right? Just so you can get hear him. And he says, like, when I heard Cali say it, I just thought, like, he don't like boxing. But he says the business aspect of boxing has turned him off. He says if it's real 100% boxing, he loves the sport, but the business aspect has turned him off. And I'm glad that he articulated that at least good enough for we, you know, in English for us to understand that, because as he feels that, as he feels that way, a lot of fans feel that way about boxing. And, hopefully if he does win this fight, he can articulate that more and more better. You know, he can speak on that a lot more, because a million boxing fans, feel that way across the world. They feel that way. They tired of the business. And he said it wasn't that much the last fight, but I think he meant it was the last fight. And he says all the boxing politics and all the bullshit behind the scenes and stuff of that nature. And I think he really wants to talk about all the bullshit that Golden Boy did to him, because in his interview as well, he goes on to say, guess what? He goes on to say that the last fight, it was some bullshit. He says that, what I'm talking about, how it is in Vegas, it's unfair. I'm paraphrasing here. And basically he dealing with Golden Boy and, and he dealing with an uphill battle. And it's true. It's true. That could take a wear and tear on a fighter's mind. Every time you want to fight, it's business. And I think also he's kind of putting an indicator towards the whole IBF situation, which that was his fault. And he might have wanted to fight Derevyanchenko, but his team said, "Oh look, we can't chance it and fight Derevyanchenko and possibly lose or look bad, and people want a rematch, and it's going to diminish the value of a Canelo rematch." He could be talking about that part of the business as well too. We all are tired of talking about what these fighters make and marinating and waiting for this and that to happen. You know what I'm saying? This ain't 100% boxing no more, like he said. He said 100% boxing, I like it. But he said this is a business. He said it 100 times clearly where you can understand it. It's a business. It's a business. The sport of boxing is now business boxing now. That's what it is. It's business boxing. It's not boxing business. It's business before boxing, where before it was straight boxing before business. It was boxing, space, business. Now it's business boxing. That's what it is, man. And I'm happy to hear that it's wearing on the fighters. It's fighters that won't smoke, but it's all about business. It's all about marination. It's all about, let me get a couple paychecks before I possibly take this L and go into this fight. And as we've been talking about it the last few months, business, how much fighters making, who turning down $50 million, a $15 million flat fee. You ain't never hear that shit back in the day. And you're going to credit some of that to social media and fans being able to connect with each other, and promoters being able to connect to the fans, and the fighters being able to connect to the fans. As much as I really remember, it was Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins 60-40 and no fight. That's the only thing blatantly I remember in my mind. But they had already fought before, and we already knew what the outcome was going to be again. But the business aspect is wearing on a fighter like Golovkin. And I'm pretty sure it's wearing on a Jamal Charlo. I'm pretty sure it's wearing on a Jamel Charlo. I'm pretty sure it's wearing on an Errol Spence. A lot of fighters are getting wore out by the business. Deontay Wilder, Lomachenko. A lot of these fighters are getting wore out by the business. Shit, Rigondeaux and Luis Ortiz, I've been through the ringer when you talk about the business aspect of boxing. Through the ringer. So Golovkin ain't the only one. He ain't going through the hardest aspects of business. You look at Rigondeaux, destroyed. And now, people call him a quitter before looking at the guys who didn't even try to fight him. Because he went the hard route to feed his family. And it's a shame, though, man. It's definitely a shame. But, I feel where Golovkin coming from, man. I feel when I heard that interview, I was like, all right. I feel what he coming from. But we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The link's in the description. Also, if you want to donate the Boycott, in the Boycott group that we're going to be streaming, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, that link's in the description as well. If you want to donate, the PayPal link is there as well. Definitely appreciate all the brothers for rocking out with us. We're going to have a plentiful day of videos as usual. And shout out to the super chats, and shout out to the brothers that's retweeting, tweeting the videos out, showing love on social media. If you got a video request, DM me on social media. Get right back to you. Y'all know what the business is. We gone.